Hello guys and welcome back again in episode number 2 of making a crappy boring road engine a tuner dream engine, even if it's a classic engine, as you will see in this cool video. Let's start with an inline 4, a classic inline 4 actually. Let's start with a cast iron inline 4 with a, since this engine is classic, I'm gonna call it with an overhead cam. Let's say 4 valves per cylinder. Alright, should we call that? Yeah, I think that would be cool. Have you noticed something weird, guys? Where is the modern push rod? Where is it? Have they cancelled it? Is it here? Yes, they cancelled it actually. Is it they cancelled it? You can check a little something. Oh, they cancelled it. Wow, there used to be here a modern overhead valve, but now they cancelled it. Wow, that's weird actually. Alright, since I'm gonna go with a classic engine, let's go with a push rod. Engine. Inline 4, push rod engine, cast iron, also the cylinder head, cast iron, and let's see, this engine is a good reliable engine from the 1970s, and it's still living these days, so I'm gonna call it 8.0 to 1. Compression ratio is 40, not the compression, the cam profile, sorry. And yes, it's a naturally aspirated, carbureted 2-barrel single. Yes, it's a good engine, it will work perfectly. And yes, it will make not much power, but it will serve well. Alright. Since this engine is an old engine, it should use leaded, so we can turn it later to unleaded. Let's see, reverse flow, straight through, and yes, we have it, guys. Oh, I forgot to play with the freaking size. Yes, let's make it 2.5 liters. So it will be, from the 1950s. The 50s, 60s, let's say. Alright, now it's 2.5 liters exactly. Yes, now it's perfect. It has to use 92. And yes, we have it, guys. This is a classic inline 4 engine with a push rod in a valve system. Let's hear it. Alright guys, the exhaust size is a hideous size, so now it's perfect. Yes, like that. No, keep it like that, normal. Alright. Now this engine is producing, I'm gonna tune it to the max with using the same carburetor. Right. No, I'm gonna keep it like this. So this engine is producing 120 horsepower and 141 pound-feet of torque. Not bad for a classic engine, for a classic inline 4, a 2.5 liter inline 4 engine with a 2-barrel carburetor on it, a single one. So as you can see here, the final specs are 73.3 reliability, and yes, the fuel economy is good for a carbureted engine. It's not really that smooth, but yes, it's good. The throttle response is good for a classic street engine. What else should we look at? The fuel octane is good. The weight, yes, it's heavy for a cast iron. Everything is cast. But look at the torque, 141 pound-feet and 120 horsepower. It's good. Let's hear it. Alright guys, this is the first version of it, or the stock version of this classic inline 4 engine. As you can see here, 120 horsepower, 141 pound-feet of torque. Alright, it's 2017 now. You have this engine. It was a stored engine, no one used it before, and you got it. You have slid it into your classic car. You have a small cube, for example, a small lightweight Toyota coupe, for example, and you have this engine in it, and you want, to upgrade it. It's new, no one used it before you, and it's working in 2017. First of all, what is the first thing you have to do is switching from leaded fuel to unleaded fuel. This engine will burn 92 octane fuel, so to switch it to 91 octane, it will knock. That's how it is. So you have to decrease the ignition timing a little bit. So yes, you will lose 2 horsepower, but you can run it right now on the modern fuel, and also you have to stick on it a catalytic converter, unless of course your country will not have any problem of running without a catalytic converter. But I think, as I always say, the first mod you have to do to any engine is putting a better exhaust on it. Let's start with an aftermarket exhaust on it. Aftermarket exhaust. Long tubular is for a handcrafted one, and racing tubular is for a professional handcrafted one. So let's switch to a tubular header, which is a aftermarket kit, and a bigger exhaust diameter, and a high flow 3-way catalytic converter straight through. Remove the second muffler. No, let's keep it. And a higher quality 1+5, and now you have gained the original 120 horsepower and 140 pound-feet of torque. Let's hear the new exhaust, guys. Alright, you have enjoyed it, but you were a little bit upset because you have spent an expensive amount of money on putting a catalytic converter and a tubular exhaust system. I know you were a little bit upset because you didn't get any significant of horsepower increase, but now it comes the time when you want more power. You want an aggressive amount of power of your engine. So what you should do right now is playing with the intake system. It has single carbureted one, crappy standard one. Let's switch to a 4-barrel, which is the best one, and actually the DCOE is the best one, but okay, let's switch to 4-barrel because it's more available right now, especially in the United States. It's available, the 4-barrel, with a performance intake manifold. As you can see, we can now have a little bit of fuel economy, and the engine is a little bit lightweight, and the performance index has increased significantly. And yes, we have 1 point of octane to use. So yes, increasing the ignition timing a little bit will increase the horsepower. As you can see, now we have 127 horsepower, so we gained 7 horsepower and 2 pound-feet of torque, which is awesome. Let's hear the 4-barrel carburetor with the new intake manifold system, and of course it has to be a better quality one because it's an aftermarket one. And you can see here we have more. We cannot use, or a shame, so we have to use the only 62 points. Alright, so 62. Okay, let's hear it. Alright, the engine is sounding awesome because of the performance intake manifold and the performance air filter and the bigger and tougher 4-barrel carburetor. What is the next thing that you have? What is the next mod that you have to do to make this engine stand out more and kick ass? I think you have to save like 500 bucks maybe, because you need to buy a better camshaft. Alright, let's see. And also you have to check if your pistons can rev higher. As you can see here, the pistons can rev up to 7,100. So let's put a bigger camshaft and hope to make a big bang. Let's rev the engine up to 7,000 star. Let's see if we can put a better camshaft in it. I mean, yes, you will lose a bit of torque. So yes, this size and the engine and the horsepower keep on only to 6,500. It's okay, 6,500 is good, so to keep the power curve fully on, or 6,000. Alright, so now we have a bigger bang because of the better camshaft. Let's see if the ignition timing will make a difference. Alright. Alright. Now we are using a 90 points ignition timing on the advanced size, and we are still on 91 octane fuel. And you can see, look at the power gains, 163 horsepower from a bigger camshaft. And I know we lost a little bit of torque because now the engine is not a towing engine. This is a sporty engine right now because of the bigger camshaft. And yes, now let's hear this beautiful new camshaft, because yes, it will change the sound of the engine, especially at idling. Let's hear it. Alright, the sound of it is just amazing. 163 horsepower is from a 120 horsepower originally engine, is a huge increase. I love this engine right now because it's still a classic engine with a carburetor, but the power is just amazing. Alright, what do you think is the next cool update? I'm gonna keep this engine carburetor. I'm not gonna switch to an EFI engine. I'm gonna keep it a classic engine. So what is the next mod you think we have to do? Now you have been working hard and saving a lot of money. Now you will take this engine to the next step. You are gonna take this engine to a professional fabricator, and you will fabricate a special, your own racing header. As you can see, the power increase 6 horsepower and 4 pound-feet of torque, and you will increase the exhaust size, diameter, and let's see, you should not remove the muffler. It's a high quality one. That will be awesome. Now let's hear. Now look at that handcrafted, hand welded exhaust header. Wow, that's gonna take a professional welder, a professional fabricator to make it. But here it is, it's finished, it's bolted on. Let's hear it. engine now is louder, the note of the exhaust is more aggressive, which is really nice. And 168 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque is just amazing figure for this engine. So you have been using this engine, you are enjoying the power of it, nearly 170 horsepower, and it's amazing. What do you think the next model should be? Let's say you are a classic engine enthusiast. You went on Amazon, you went on eBay, you have been searching hard for a DCOE carburetor, an Italian design, high flow monster carburetor, and you have found it, and you have ordered it, and you have been waiting a long time to get it in the mailbox, and finally it's here with its special intake manifold. Let's bolt it on. You have been alright. You have ordered the single DCOE, as you can see here. Yes, as you can see here now, we have a better throttle response. You can burn. The octane range is better, and as you can see here, we gained a bit of torque. And now the engine will sound amazingly, and it will rev higher, not will rev higher, and it will make more torque, as I said before. Let's hear the new DCOE single carburetor, because you didn't have a lot of money to order the second one, but we will order it in a minute. Let's just hear this awesome carburetor. Alright, now the engine's throttle response is more aggressive and more responsive. It's awesome, it's running well. And now it's the big moment, which is ordering a second one with a better intake manifold. I know it will cost a lot of money. You should have ordered the twin version of it, but you didn't have a lot of money. But now you have saved, you have worked hard, and now you have the second one. And look at the power difference, my friend. Look at the difference. 168, 175, and more throttle response, as you can see. And we can burn more, and the octane range is higher, and we are saving fuel. Awesome. Look at the shape of it. Classic, pure classic, guys. Amazing. You have bolted it on. You went to the dyno and you are itching yourself to try it, and on the dyno they increased the ignition time to the max, which gave you more throttle response, and squeeze a little bit of fuel in. No need for that. Alright, let's hear it. Let's hear this monster. Alright guys, the engine really now makes a lot of power, more than the stock 120 horsepower. Now we are making 55 extra horsepower and 6 pound-feet of torque from the original 140 pound-feet. But now the power curve is way different, and torque is now will go from 1000 rpm or 1400 to the max, which is really good for this sporty classic engine. Right, you have been enjoying this engine, you have been going to the track with it, you have been beating a lot of guys in their classic cars. What is the next step, do you think? Guess what it is. Internals? No, you don't want to open this engine. You love this never opened engine and you want to keep it that way until it will blow up or something. But I hope it will not blow up. So the next step, which is your friends are always asking, boosted, come on, put a turbocharger on it, and finally you have been saving to buy the eBay kit. No, you will never buy the eBay kit because it will just blow up. You went to a professional and you will just go with it. First of all, switch to a 98 octane fuel, then bolt on the magical one, ball bearing, medium intercooler, or a large one. No, yes, large one. Let's see, which is the perfect size for it? 7. Let's see what this. Oh my god, look at the power. Oh, now that is just amazing, guys. Look at the power. Oh my god, I love forced induction. Look at that. Forced induction is the answer, guys, even if you want to keep it a cool carbureted classic one. Look at that. You have bought the original classic turbocharging kit for this baby. You have spent more than 3 grand, boosting it the correct way, the correct professional way, and you have dynoed the engine to be perfect. I want 200 RPM torque. It's produced 200 pounds of torque. Come on. Let's see the RPM. No, it will not go higher than that. Is the exhaust size? No, the exhaust size is not good. Let's decreasing the ignition timing a little, and put a bigger exhaust system on it. Right. Alright, now yes, we have lost a little bit of throttle response, but look at the power. Look at the power, my friend. Horsepower from this beast. Wow, I want to hear it. I'm itching to hear it, guys. This is the new improved. Remember, it has the same internals, cast everything inside it, and cast block and cast cylinder head, but different carburetors, different exhaust system, different fuel, a turbocharger, a big ass intercooler, and just listen to it. Guys, I'm stumped. The engine used to be 120 horsepower and 140 pound-feet of torque, and now it's producing 250 horsepower, 206 pound-feet of torque on the same stock internals. I mean, there is no point of changing the internals, or because this engine will not rev any higher than that. I mean, yes, you can put a bigger size turbo on it, but for me, I think this is perfect right now. This engine is perfect right now. You don't have to change the internals, because if you change the internals, you will pay a lot of money. Yes, I know the engine will be much more smoother, but and it will rev higher, but this turbo will not allow this. Well, you need to change the turbo. You need to change it to a bigger one, so you can make the boost and the power curve go higher, and that will cost you if you were a tuner. So what do you think? Should we proceed with that? Look at the power curve. I'm really proud of this power curve, but you know, we're always searching for more power, so yes, let's go crazy. Alright guys, you have been now enjoying this engine. You have been driving it, boosting everything on your way, smashing every car in front of you. Everyone will think you have a classic naturally aspirated 2-barrel carburetor inline 4 engine, but now you are kicking everyone's ass in the track and on the drag racing strip of course in your lightweight coupe. Now let's go crazy with it, which is changing the internals. You have been saving a lot of money, you have been working hard and you went to a machine shop. You have asked them to fabricate for you a CNC or a billet steel crankshaft. Yes, look at that baby. And then you have bought a titanium connecting rods with a lightweight forged pistons, and that will increase your RPM range so high. And if we want to use a bigger RPM, as you can see, the valve float will kill it. Yes, you can increase the the RPM, the camshaft size, and yes, you cannot rev higher than that. So I'm gonna keep it the same, and I'm gonna just play with the turbo itself. As you can see, as I said before, the turbo itself cannot go any higher. As you can see right now, even if I increase the AR ratio, no, this turbo, even if I increase the size of it to the max, as you can see here, and even if I increase the turbine and the boost, no, this thing will not rev more than 6,700. That's the power curve. Yes, that's the power curve, guys. So let's get everything back to its original The fuel system cannot cope with the current level of boost. Reducing reliability, try lowering boost pressure. Ah, the boost. Wow. Boost is killing the... Yes, I know what's happening. We have 10 psi of boost, of air boost coming in, and I think the fuel is higher, a little bit higher than 11 psi, maybe 11 and a half or something. So what's happening is they will come face to face, and basically the fuel system cannot push any higher than that. So yes, we are basically we're killing the engine. So yes, let's bring it back to 6,600, and yes, so that's the engine max capabilities, which is, let's see if I can maybe tune it better a little bit. Alright, so alright, that's better. 255 horsepower and 209 and 9 pound-feet. Right, so that should be about it. No. Alright, more fuel in. So 255 and 210 pound-feet of torque. This engine, I know this engine can go up to 260 horsepower, but as you saw, this warning light will light on because of the fuel system cannot cope with it. So we have now to so as you saw, this engine now is running perfectly well, and it's a well-tuned turbocharged monster, so you have to hear it and enjoy it again. Alright guys, the engine now is revving so high, and not so high, the engine now is revving good, and the power curve is just amazing. So let's putting a billet steel in it is not really that much efficient. I mean, yes, you can if you want to change the internals, you can put forged steel one in it to make it lighter, and you can put a heavy duty forged, for example. Yes, heavy duty forged, and you can use a low friction cast so you can gain a little bit of fuel efficiency and more fuel economy, but the power and the RPM range will still be the same. So I think this engine now is perfect. This classic inline 4 with 120 horsepower has been transformed to a 250 horsepower and 210 pound-feet of torque using better and bigger camshaft, single turbocharger with a 10 psi of boost, and a twin DCOE carburetors with a big air-to-air intercooler, and a high flow 3-way Cadillac converter with a let's see the size, with a 3-inch exhaust system with a twin mufflers straight through and 98 octane fuel with the original 8.0 to 1 compression ratio. I mean, if you want to open the engine and put low friction cast pistons and heavy duty forged steel crank in it, basically you are doing the internals. I prefer to increase the compression ratio at least by 1 point, at least. So 8.8 to 1 is a perfect figure, I think. And now the engine is fully on. Perfect in my mind. I mean, if you have any comment on the engine, please tell me in the comment section, and let's hear it for the last time. I've seen the exhaust size here is 0.99, which is restricting. So yes, you can increase it to 3.2 inches maybe, and you can gain 1 pound-feet of torque. But the problem with that is the engine diameter will be huge to put underneath the car. So I think 3 inches is good, because you can still put it under the car without causing any problems. I mean, if you want to go crazy with this engine, you can put like a +10 quality parts in it, which will make it produce more horsepower, like for a better turbocharger. And wow, I totally forgot about the camshaft. So yes, we are making a so 7,000, 7,000, yes, more than 7,000 is the max of it. So now all the parts are just super quality parts, and now the engine is producing so much horsepower than it used to be. We cannot put it on. So 284 horsepower. $287 horsepower. Yes, 287 horsepower, my friend. 289, really? 289. Let's see. Wow, that's fuel system is just killing everything. So 290 horsepower. That's alright. You can remove the second muffler. Right, 291 horsepower, my friend. I totally forgot about the camshaft quality. Wow, 290 horsepower. This engine used to make 120 horsepower when it was stock naturally aspirated, 2-barrel carbureted. Wow, look at that. Let's hear it. So as you saw guys, now the engine is fully on finished. It's producing ton of power, which is 291 horsepower and 224 pound-feet of torque. Wow, look at the difference. Forced induction always make a turbocharger can make a crappy engine produce more horsepower. How much did we double the horsepower? Yes, we made more than double, because to make a double horsepower 100%, or not yes, to make a double horsepower we have to produce 240 horsepower, but now we're making 291 horsepower, so more than double. And also the we did not double the pound-feet of torque. The torque, no, we only doubled the horsepower. But yeah, but also the torque has gone up from 140 pound-feet to 224 pound-feet of torque, which is amazing. We should all use forced induction. I mean, every car, even V8, even V12, they should all use forced induction. So this is, guys, the episode number 2 of turning a boring, crappy engine into a high-performance street daily driving engine. And as you can see here, because we have bolted on a high-quality aftermarket performance parts, we are now having more reliability points. I know the engine is like 10 or 12 kilograms heavier because of the turbo and the intercooler and the exhaust, but I don't care. Look at the power also. And we also gained actually we lost a little bit of smoothness, but it's okay because now the engine has a big camshaft in it, and we have gained a significant amount of throttle response, and you know, the power and torque will just kill all that. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna call it here Classic Turbo inline for 291 horsepower. Wow, 2.5 liter. Awesome. If you enjoyed, guys, this video, please remember to hit that like button, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and stay tuned for more cool videos like this one. And if you really like this series of making an episodes for the, you know, turning a crappy engine to a tuner dream engine, tell me in the comment section so I can keep making them. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I will see you in another video. Good night and goodbye. I will see you tomorrow when I wake.